If you can introduce us the policies of the European Union about integration of migrants.
Okay, I am working in the Immigration and Integration Unit in DG Home Affairs, and I deal there specifically with integration issues. And I think that there is a close link between when we deal with migration and integration, so it's a good thing indeed to address both dimensions. Because we've had a session about mixed flows coming to Europe, but also for many reasons through forced migration. But once you're in the EU and once you're staying in the EU, whether you've come for humanitarian reasons or for economic reasons, you always hope, of course, to make a living, to be able to support yourself, to found a family or to bring your family. And all this depends on whether there is an effective support for you to find a job, to learn languages and so on. And although this is primarily a national competence, the EU has developed quite a number of tools and platforms to support the knowledge exchange between EU member states so that we can really improve these policies and so we can make the support to newly arrived migrants specifically, but also to those who've been established in the EU since longer, as effective as possible. But these types of measures are primarily of a support character, so both financial support and practical support in terms of developing comparable statistics, indicators on the employment levels of the migrants, the educational achievement, the risk of social exclusion and poverty, and their more sort of political and civic participation in the member states. So we do develop this type of measures and tools that can support an active knowledge exchange, but we as the Commission can obviously not integrate people because that's a process that happens very much on the ground locally with the stakeholders that are the most closely involved in meeting the newcomers.
In your opinion and for your experience, how and when the migration flows became dangerous for the national security?
I think it's a bit of a tough and a harshly formulated question because I think that in the longer run diversity is something positive, but we need to be able to draw the advantages by managing integration. And I think that people of the receiving societies may perceive it as a threat or as dangerous to national security when we feel that the migratory flows are of such a dimension that in the shorter term they're unmanageable. But that's why it's important to work with both a short and long-term perspective and on migration and integration at the same time, because if properly managed, diversity is something in the longer term positive and beneficial, especially for a region that has a growing or an aging population and a declining working age population. So in the longer term we need migration, but indeed it should be by choice ideally, and we should be attracting the type of migrants that we need and that can integrate in our societies, and rather than forced migration that may put, at least for a certain period, it's not a threat but a big pressure on the resilient society.